Hey guys, it's Heart and Soul. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited this week. Super excited. You guessed it. We got somebody new. We bring the vibes. So, let's welcome Jarrell. Jarrell, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I out here trying to hustle and make it out here. I'm just trying to survive.
Great.
As we all.
I'm trying to survive in media and entertainment. So from music to the theater to the obvious media. Yeah, unfortunately, my entire resume is glitters and sprinkles. So
nothing wrong with that. Speaking of glitters and sprinkles, Krista, morning.
How are you? Morning. Morning. I just crack me up in it.
And of course,
we all had a good week.
Of course, Valentine edition. We had a really great week, ladies. Val, Gal, whatever you did, it was great. Out in England, tell them how it went.
It real sunny. And that's the main thing. Sunny and warm.
Well, today we bring in the heat, ladies. Because you know what we're talking about. As you say, sunny and warm. In a relationship, forgiving or forgetting? Can you do forgiving and forgetting, or do you forgive but not forget? Bring it.
Lisa, where is that? Because I don't know. I see the mouth pushed out, and you know the mouth pushed out is Lisa.
I think it's only in my
been waiting for this question.
In my 40s, I learned to forgive.
Child.
Let me baptize the newbie. Jarrell, do you forgive or forget?
Listen, I can do a lot of things. I can practice a lot of things. You see the forgiving part, boy? That's that's the one that I will admit is challenging. I will admit that I am very stubborn. However, I deserve a lot of applause for some people I've already forgiven in my life. Come on, come through. Yes, big, mature moves happened within my life. Forgetting aspect of it, I naturally forget everything, which is one of the reasons why I got into video production to begin with. I have a terrible memory.
You're real good.
So I don't really remember stuff. So if I do remember something, don't try to make me out as though I'm crazy. You know what I mean? If I do remember something and you want to turn back around and act as though, that didn't happen, like, I'm mad, no, we're going to have a problem. You understand?
Crystal?
You know, I always deviated from the gradient, but generally by nature, I'm a very forgiving person. Like, I have friends who've done me so much rubbish, and as long as you apologize to me, you actually are honest, I am a forgiving soul. But you had to be honest, right? However, the forgetting part, I don't forget nothing. So, like, that's
a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me.
Challenging.
Yeah, it is, and because
I have to ask. I need an example. Like, what's the worst thing that you have forgiven someone for? Because you said that's so easy just now. Like, people.
Yeah, no.
And you're telling me about you have friends and friends that you forgive.
I know.
Yeah, like let me give you a chord. If I give this example, the person gonna know who it is, but I'll just tell you.
And
so for example, one year I was out in a concert and I got a very disturbing call that my brother was in a very bad accident where by somebody tried to take his vehicle and they beat him with a hammer like 12 times in his head. The person I was out with that night, my girlfriend, I was like, I need to go immediately because I picked her up because my brother was in a very terrible, somebody called me, he was disoriented, he didn't know where he was bleeding from his head, I need to take him to the hospital, I need to meet him at the Arima hospital. And her remark to me was, well, I need to get food for my sister. How am I going to do it?
Struggles I don't have.
Yeah.
Struggles I do not have.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and even after,
Yeah.
I mean, I was annoyed at the time. Like I real cussed and gay, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but even after that, we still continued being friends, Well, I
How?
continue, but this is it, because like I said, I am I try to see the good in people all the time. I thought maybe, because it was late, 2 o'clock in the morning, and as a female being out late and just leaving her there, I tried to think about it from that perspective.
Okay, could we hear from
So,
someone who
like,
not a
like
mom?
I said,
Crystal.
I just say, but after that, our friendship did change. She wasn't
Okay.
someone I wasn't close because I didn't forget. Like I said,
Yeah.
I forgive. And I think a lot of times forgiveness is about really for you, not for
Yes,
the other person. Forgiveness is for you and your own peace of mind and moving forward with your happiness and your stability. But I didn't forget. So our friendship kind of changed for me thereafter.
It would. Yeah, it would.
Lisa, trauma line, please.
Well, yeah. I's not no elephant, so I don't forget. You see all of that forgetting thing?
Yes.
Here what it is to me, right? What I had to come to terms with. I didn't know that I was doing this in my romantic relationships. But I think I was doing it because I was being triggered. So I was drawing example from past experience. But
Mm-hmm.
you saying that now, but then so and so when that so did happen. And it wasn't like, wait, I'm going to do that. It wasn't a quarreling event. It was more like, oh, you telling me that now? Why would I believe you if this happened before?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn. At times, only in my 40s, that I learned about forgiving. Ian Levanta. Hello. Hi. How are you? Yeah. So now I find a route out through forgiveness for myself.
Y'all,
Myself.
while I appreciate
But I'm
everybody's
forgetting.
experience, I do not forget, nor do I forgive well.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I've spoken to both Jesuses, and yeah, I have all the Jesuses that I know. But how do I move forward or really leave it in the past? Everybody has to have their strategy. So for me, I know I don't forget. I remember someone posted a picture just 2 days ago, and from the outfit, I knew exactly where it was and what year it was. That is the
I
extent.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
That is the extent. So I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
2005. That's, yeah. So when you know you're like that, how do you leave it in the
detail in your brain.
And I think women by nature, because we are communicative beings, we tend to remember stuff that really hurts us. And I think it's the emotional scarring or the emotional trauma associated with the situation, especially in a relationship, or if it's a relationship you was invested in, I should say.
Well, I'm always invested. If I'm going to shave my legs and wax my underarm and thing, I really invest. I'm invested financially, I'm invested emotionally, I'm invested. Right? So once we start there, I cannot move on. I do not leave in past well. I'm going to refer. It is now a point of reference to me. So I don't do the dirt if we're gonna be in a situation. And I once heard a therapist say, if you don't, okay, like if there's honing or there's cheating or other things that you need to forgive on that level, tell yourself that relationship is dead. Not that you and the person are done, but that relationship is over because you are now at ground zero and you have to start again. Yeah. Now, if I am not in a position to emotionally commit to that, like starting back from ground zero, I would not be able to move on from that.
Yeah.
So I don't do the dirt to be in that position. I'm not going to forget. I know that for sure. The forgiving, I could work on over time.
This is the thing about forgiving that people underestimate. It's and it's an extension to the lesson in perceptions, because everybody have their perceptions of you and your perception of this, and every situation that takes place, there's multiple ways of viewing it. But the thing about perception is that everybody's perception is right. There's truth and false within it. So then when you're talking about forgiveness, whether it's forgiveness of self or with a partner or a past friendship or whatever the case is, it's not just a matter of saying, yeah, I'm sorry, the end, whatever, we move on. Like, forgiveness is complete in change of behavior. Whatever is one action that was like,
it has to be a different action
that follows.
for you
And
to
then
be able
when
to
we
move
talk
on. Yeah.
about forgiveness with relationships with people, we kind of forget that a lot of the no pun intended, we kind of forget to be like that, that we have to do a lot of work. So the way we perceive our relationship with somebody before, that can't happen again. And now there's a change in behavior that also have to take place with you in order for you to.
It's a process, you know.
And that's
I agree.
If you can't live with the change, Crystal, what about if
then-
you can't live with the change?
But you see, I think sometimes in saying sorry, what causes women not to forget is that when you say sorry, it means you recognize what you did, and then you don't do that action again. So
Sorry.
Ideally, that's how it's supposed to work.
Ideally, you know, so when it's a woman, and I don't think men understand that if somebody, I read somewhere that every time she forgives you, a man loves her more. But every time a woman forgives you, she loses her trust and her love. Because most women come to you 100%. So every time she forgives you, it drops less and less until it reaches a balancing point, and then it goes like this, you know, and she's here and you are here. So that's where the challenge of moving forward comes from, because she's expecting that when you say sorry, you don't do it again, or you learn from your mistake, or even if you do, you take a different approach in how you get caught. Well, okay, say, okay, all right, fine, blah, 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 whatever, get catch, be a man and, you know, own up to the shit. Or for the woman, be a man, own up, be moving forward.
But Crystal, that's something that even in the part that becomes hard for us, even in that aspect of it, right? And you're absolutely correct on that one side of it. The other side is that you now have to go through a process. Let me tell you, the biggest reason why I would have all these feelings and all these raps with people is because I'm also mad at myself. I'm mad at myself for allowing somebody to take advantage of me or to manipulate me or to have me feel like this.
Vulnerable
that change of behavior now, not just from expecting it from the other person, but not the change of behavior in me, because now I want to know what aspect about my life that made this so appealing. I didn't see that red flag, and I didn't know it. And that is a vex with yourself. You're vexed with yourself, you know.
Well, we preach it. It's not even Sunday, ladies. We real preaching, but we have to go to cool, hard facts.
Yeah, get back her song.
Get back her song. So give her 2 seconds to dance. So cool hard facts. Jarrell, was that one thing you want the fellas to do? The cool hard facts, girl.
The one thing I want the fellas to know, boy, cold hard facts. Now I jump in on this and I'm using this opportunity to do it because the conversation is happening now, right? Gender-based violence, yada yada, right? I say it because I do acknowledge that there are men that walk around the society who are not monsters, who are actually men. I understand that, and it puts men in a very sensitive position. They can't say, do anything without it seeming as a threat. And this is coming from the innocent ones as well, right? Understand that if you, however you perceive racism, Black people, I don't want to use the word versus, but that's how it feels. It feels like our Black people versus white people. And when white people step in and be like, we want to be an ally, and we're allies for Black people, understand what that means, because it's the same thing that applies to women. And in this gender-based violence conversation. So not all guys, listen, if you're really a not all guy, learn what it means.
She worse than you, Giselle.
Sometimes you just has it to hush. And when you need to talk hard, and when you need to be, which is, among your peers and among your brethren,
Mhm.
and when certain things, that is the point to talk hard. But don't be
Yeah.
talking hard. Don't be talking hard over me now. You're supposed to be
Okay.
representing me.
We thank you. We thank you. All you soften it.
Let Crystal soften it because I ain't gonna
Crystal.
soften it.
Crystal, come
Oh
through.
God, well, mine was a little extension for Gerald, so to speak. Like your relationship is supposed to be a safe haven, a place of comfort, not some place you run from. You know what I mean? So, ladies, guys, for 2021 going forward, let's try to be that comfort, to the other person in the relationship. Please.
Please.
Well, what I have to say is, with this forgiving and forgetting, as we've established as a growing process, I think growth will have you stepping over things you used to trip on. So it's that whole, your triggers having you tripping. It will have you stepping over those.
Sunday
That's
school,
when you know you
and it's
reach.
not even a Sunday school. Well, me, you know how I do.
Yeah, you see you.
Gerald make it easier for me because Gerald was not holding back. Gerald was like me buffing mommy. But come in, come to auntie. let auntie tell all you something. And this is for the ladies as well as the guys. Browsing is not buying. She's shopping. You are shopping. It's not buying, boo boo. Okay, just remember that.
We're talking to Boo Boo again. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not right.
It's like when you crack open a fortune cookie and it's just
Enough wisdom for one day. We have not much more we need to say after that drops mic. Ladies, it's been wonderful. I want you all to like, share, of course, tell a friend, and check out the Facebook page, Heart and Soul with the Caribbean Queens. Until next time.